I do want to talk about some of our previous picks. So the first one I want to get into is OXY. In fact, I want to keep Bitcoin open because I'm in a trade, so I'm going to keep an eye on that for my own sake. Let's go ahead and get OXY here. Petroleum, guys. If you remember from last week, when holy crap, look at this thing. Remember from last week when we had JC Peretz on, and he was talking about how we're entering a commodity super cycle based purely on the technicals and market relative strength, not the RSI down here, something completely different. What he's talking about is sector strength compared to other sectors. All right, so he's looking at commodities and he's thinking we're entering a big bullish market for it. And if you quote JC Peretz, the idea is that it's just the beginning of that. And it just so happens that I found a nice reversal pattern, I think the next day, by Coinky Dink on Occidental Petroleum, OXY. You guys should have the ticker in your watch list if you watch the show. Let's go ahead and switch this up to a day chart, because remember, with these trades that we're doing in the morning, we like to look at things over a little bit of a longer period because we're looking for big, fat, juicy, double-digit percentage breakouts. And those usually happen when a pattern is resolving over a longer period of time. Doesn't mean it can't happen over a shorter period of time, but usually the longer the pattern, the bigger the breakout. So what we've got here, guys, if you remember, I was talking about bottoms, all right? Big old bottoms, which we got here with Occidental. We've got a pretty sustained downward trend on this thing, all right? Looking ugly, looking ugly. All of a sudden, it's a teen romance movie. We're taking the nerdy girl to prom, all right? We're giving her a makeover. It's the year 1999. She's all that. I'm not sure if that's actually the movie I'm thinking of, but you guys get it, all right? So we've got a couple things going on here that I love. We've got a double bottom pattern, which is characterized by a downward trend. So remember, number one, we're always looking for the trend. The trend is your friend. So we're looking for a downward trend. And then this double bottom, it's a reversal pattern, okay? We've got continuation patterns on one side, which are abundant in this market. We're going to talk about them. But in this case, it's a reversal, which is often very, very powerful. So we're saying ugly, 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 time for the makeover on OXY. So double bottom pattern characterized by two dips, right, that are hitting the same level. That's where the buyer's saying, this is enough. I have noticed this girl. She's got a great personality, a lot of potential. We just got to get her a new pair of glasses, makeover. Downtrend, little booty, uptrend. That's what we're looking for, all right? And so when we look at this thing, something interesting, I previously drew support right about here where the meat is. And the way that I usually want to do that on a double bottom, instead of just drawing a line, I'm going to grab myself a rectangle. So let's do that. Paintbrush, rectangle. And I want to do it where the meat is. I don't like this little peaky thing. It's playing games with me, all right? I don't like the way that it's playing games with me and you guys. It's not fair. Let's do it where the meat is, where the action was, where the actual battle happened, where the blood was spilt among the bulls and the bears here, all right? Let's go ahead and draw this out, all right? In this container, we've got our double bottom pattern. We also have something really juicy. You guys remember? A gap. That gap, though. Gaps get filled, especially in this bull market, all right? So we got a very powerful thing happening, and this is perfect, all right? So let me draw this out for you guys, all right? We've got gap down. Eventually, that's going to get filled if we hit any sort of support and a bounce. But even better than a bounce, we've got a double bottom reversal pattern. Looking great. We're in a great sector, according to JC Peretz. We're in commodities. We're talking about petroleum here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, even better. A lot of times when you get a double bottom pattern, what you get is something like this. You get this line that's just about where the action took place, and then you get a little breakout, and then you get a bounce on it, and then you go to the moon. All right, so this is looking good. This is looking like it's going to resolve the way I want it to. Again, we're keeping our stops just a little bit below this neckline or former resistance line. Both mean the same thing. When you're talking about a pattern, the neckline is typically the top portion of it. In this case, we like this bounce. Yes, it crossed over. Yes, it's not exact, but patterns are not exact because they're based on nature and human nature and all of these things that go into what makes up the price chart. So yes, it looks a little bit messy. Is that okay? Yes, it's wonderful. So let's go ahead and get rid of this box. I want to show you something else kind of cool. I previously did a Fibonacci. I did a video like it's like Neal explains Fibonacci sequence. We posted a little bit of a clip where I was talking about the Fibonacci sequence and how it matters and how it shows up in charts. I really want to thank this person for the feedback. I love feedback. This is the worst explanation ever. And then someone from Benzinga pinned it to make it the top comment every time someone looks. So, guys, if you want to learn more about Fibonacci stuff, do me a favor. Just go to this video. Just, maybe get the conversation started. Watch it. Give me your opinion on the explanation. But I want to thank you, Viet Tuan. So we're back over here. Let's go ahead and bring the Fibonacci into the equation. Let's invite him to the party. Let's get this. Let's invite the Italian. So what I'm going to do is trash can all of my drawings, and then I'm going to use what is called the Fibonacci retracement tool. And the way that I'm going to use this tool is I'm going to draw a point. I'm going to pick a point at the swing low of my pattern, so the bottom here, the resistance. And then I'm going to draw the other point at the absolute tippy top of the swing high, which in this case is that sort of middle of the W that we're getting here. But remember, I want to stay close to kind of the action, so let's do that. Well, whatever. We'll do it in the body of this candle. Something interesting, guys. Do you notice that we are getting bounces at each of these lines? These lines are showing up where we had little battles, periods where traders were taking a breather, battling it out over the fair value of the stock, and then letting the market decide where it goes. We get a little bit of a breakout, then we come back down, and look where it came right back down to, guys. This is the first line of Fibonacci retracement, which actually lines up perfectly. All I did was draw a point from here to here, and it drew a line pretty much where that battle was taking place. Very cool tool, Fibonacci retracement. It should be on most of your brokerages if you have a desktop platform. It comes under different names, but if it has Fibonacci in it, the thing that we're doing is called retracement, Fibonacci retracement. This is TradingView. You can find it in Benzinga Pro on the charting tool, which is actually powered by TradingView. I'm sure Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, you guys can find it. But I love this because we're bouncing off of this. Am I in this stock? Yes, full disclosure, I'm in this stock. Why? Because we're looking for a resolution of this double bottom pattern. We're bouncing off right now. The bulls are coming in. We have RSI coming in and showing that we have momentum behind this trade. I do believe that this will break out and close this gap. And how do we get our price target? We go from the base of our W to the peak, and then we add that to the breakout level, which is right about here, we'll say. Actually, let's go ahead and just go a little, well, yeah, let's be conservative. We'll go right about here. These things aren't exact, but this is kind of how you come up with it. It is the base of your double bottom to the neckline, and then you add that distance. So we're looking at about $34 as our price target, which is if you were to get in now, that would be a gain of about 45%.